it is taken away something from one thing. Suppose you have a bucket full of water. If you take two cups, you take away, it will be less than 2 cups. But no, you have taken out the Brahman. This universe is so big, still it remains Brahman. It is that means it does not change. So that is the idea. It is unchanging absolute. The whole world comes. If you say that world has come up, but this world appears to come up, but nothing has happened. And also, in the gross example, in the infinite Pacific Ocean, you 10 buckets of water you take out. Still it is the ocean. Nothing is lost. It's like that, the infinite ocean of consciousness, out of which this world appears, and all our conceptual things remain. Even they are created, but it's separated as it were, but it remains the same. It is like, we are building this house. It is space only. But we say it is room space. Though we say it is a room space, infinite space has not gone anywhere. Infinite Brahman remaining infinite. And in between this world has come up. Though it come up, but it is nothing but that ocean of consciousness. Space is the best example to understand. Nothing is you can take out, but you have taken out. It's called my space, our temple. That is their house. So they are our all coming in the space. But actually space, you cannot do anything in the space. Space is always the space. Brahman is always Brahman. Purnam. Purna avasishyati means it remains Brahman. Nothing can be little less than that. Normal our conception is there, if I have $1,000 and somehow I take out $100 minus, then it will be 900. But no, here is Brahman is so full, you take out whatever you take out, but still it remains infinity. That's the concept of infinity. So now we are reading, we have been on the verse number, chapter 5, verse number 7 the other day. So what we have got it, that reality presides over the nature and in all aspects. He controls every form and every cause of production. He witnesses the birth of the firstborn, that is Hiranyagarbha, and nourishes him with wisdom. So now, differentiating each species into its members, the Supreme Being withdraws them once more into their own ground, and again brings forth the creation, and great self holds away with them. So it is said that this creation and destruction is going on and in the same consciousness. Now, he who is the one source of the world brings out everything out of his own nature and leads the creatures to perfection according to their desires, and endows each being with its distinguishing characteristic. So, the whole world, who is one source of the whole world, that is the Lord God, out of his own nature, he does not need any other agency. As I talked about the material cause and efficient cause. There is no two causes are necessary. He himself is the efficient cause. He himself is the material cause. So, in that way, leads creatures perfection, and then after creating, takes everyone to the path of perfection, leading them to the nature, holding them to the experiences of this nature. Thus, he presides over the whole universe. Now, that reality is Angushtamatro, Ravitulya Rupa. That is that we're talking about that Brahman, that Atman. What is his nature? Today we are reading verse number 8. It says, Angushtamatra Ravitulla Rupaha. Angushtamatro Ravitulla Rupaha. Sankalpa Ahankara Samannito Yaha. Sankalpa Ahankara Samannito Yaha. Buddher Gunayena Atma Gunena Chaiva. Buddher Gunena Atma Gunenaiva Chaiva Aragramatropi Aparopi Dishta Aragramatropi Aparopi Drishta Angushtamatra Ravitulla Rupaha Angushtamatra Ravitulla Rupaha Sankalpa Ahankara Samannito Yaha Sankalpa Ahankara Samannito Yaha Buddher Gunena Atma Gunena Chaiva Atma Gunena Chaiva Aragramatropi Aragramatropi Aparopi Drishta Aparopi Drishta Angushtamatra. Angushta means the thumb. Angushta is Angushtamatra. Here this Aragamatra. But the main verse is Angushtamatra. It is a thumb, size of the thumb, Angushtamatra. Ravitulla Rupa. Ravi means the sun. It's Ravitulla, his form looks like that of Ravi, the sun, blazing bright, that of the sun, effulgent and infinite like the sun. Ravitulla Rupa. Sankalpa Ahankara Samannitaja. When it becomes associated with, Samannita means associated with, Sankalpa and Ahankara. I say, I will do something, I will resolve, I will get into it. So two things come. I comes and this resolution in the I comes. We do it every time. I will go. I will do this. I will study now. Till I and resolution. That Satchidananda one, Angushtamatra, it is like in the heart. It appears, his place is in the heart. But how can that infinite be in the heart? But it appears, it is like, no, if you put in the ocean or in a bucket of water, another cup, and dip that cup inside. So inside water, outside water, it will be everything, but it takes the shape of the cup. So here, consciousness everywhere, but still, if it is here, more palpably present, that's why it takes the shape of a angushta, means thumb-like size. When that consciousness gets involved into ego and desire or resolution, sankalpa, ahankara, samannito, when they become samannito, is associated. Buddhir gunena atma gunena chaiva, by the fitness of the heart, ki korche, the buddhir gunena, limitation of the buddhi, my buddhi comes into picture and it limits me. It is not limiting anything, but my conception, my understanding gets limited. Buddhir gunena, by the limitation of the buddhi, so that consciousness becomes what? Sankalpa matana, buddhir gunena, atma gunena chaiva. It is like thinking that is my guna, my quality. Atma buddhir gunena, the qualities of buddhi or understanding is imposed on the consciousness. This I am I am of the quality of buddhi. So he is thinking that infinite consciousness thinks, I am the cup. I am become. The purpose is sankalpa. And I shall do this. I shall measure myself. Who am I? I am this body, mind. This is coming. That is coming because of this identification or association of this. Aragamatropi. Aragya means it's a subtle as the point of a goad. What is goad?
The elephant, Ankusha.
Ankusha. Subtle as the point of a goad. Aragya jaw, who is so subtle, like that way, pointed edge of the striker, what you call goad. Angustama cha apara api dushta is seen like that. That means the consciousness, which is one, when it is entered into the angustamatra, in the heart, like small heart, the consciousness associates itself with I and sankalpa, desire or some resolutions, then he identifies the Buddhist quality into him and he thinks that I am this. So subtle as the point of gold and pure, effulgent and infinite like sun. Subtle means, but the subtle means incapable of being known by the gross mind and the senses. This Atman, which is not to be perceived by the senses, eyes cannot see, ears cannot hear. All the senses are very limited to perceive it. Being known, it cannot be known by neither the mind, neither the senses can understand that reality. So that's why it is called subtle as the point of a gold, and pure and effulgent. And it is also effulgent like that way, bright sun. He alone is seen, that means same consciousness, one consciousness only, is alone is seen assuming as another. It is consciousness, but it looks like the shape and size of different objects put into the water. Cup, it may be glass, it may be shape of a jar. So it's so many things appear, but it is nothing but the one consciousness. So assuming another, the size of a thumb on account of the finiteness of the heart, and associating himself with ego and sankalpa on account of the limitation of the intellect. So subtle as the point of good, and pure and effulgent and infinite like the sun, he alone is seen. The whole universe I am seeing, it is he alone. I am seeing he alone in different forms. It's a very good example given here. Though it is effulgent like sun, it is one and absolute, but still it is being associated with ego and sankalpa, and then it takes the characteristic of the understanding, buddhi, and buddhi tells, I am this, you are this, these different forms are coming, but it is he alone. There is nothing but that reality everywhere. Assuming as another means what? Another means like another individual. Another means the jiva or individual soul. That the individual soul should be conceived as the manifestation of the Supreme Being is the purport of the mantra. Whatever we are seeing in the conceived by us, it is this. That's why Swami Vivekananda talked about all this in a simplistic language. He said, you have never seen anything but God. I have also never seen anything but God. There is nothing but God. But you are seeing this because of your buddhi. And buddhi is coloring that. And your I and ego and sankalpa. This is language of the ancient sages. But it is so clearly in the modern language has been expressed. That the jivas are individual soul. That the individual soul should be conceived as the manifestation of that supreme. It is nothing but the supreme manifestation of the one. Like a good example, old example again, favorite, my example, animal cookies. It is nothing but the same ingredient, only different shape and size. And actually, it matters little. You crush them together, it is the same. You keep the individuality, it is the same. It is only one reality appearing because of our name and form, we call here the identification with Buddhi. Buddhi says, I am this, I am that, this is that. So, falling in the clutches of the Buddhi, ego, and resolution, this whole consciousness is appearing like the world as we see it. Sankalpa means the quality of the mind due to which it finds attraction for something which does not really deserve it. Sankalpa means why do you have a mind? It said that quality of the mind is what? Due to which it finds attraction for something, jiva individual. Because the mind says it is good, I feel attracted. Mind says no, it is not good, I feel repulsion. So all these activities are going on because of the mind. And the intellect and the heart referred here are two most important aspects of human personality. The individual soul, which is of the same nature of the Supreme Being, looks otherwise because of the limitations of these. It's manifesting medias, that is the intellect. Intellect always, our understanding always makes the distinction. But it is only one. The sum and substance of this verse is that supreme reality is everywhere. It also stays in our heart. It permeates that. But in that heart, the consciousness of I and its resolution of sankalpa comes there. And that buddhi creates the idea that one infinite consciousness is divided. And so this world is divided, separate, dvaita, duality comes. And in this duality, so much of diversity is around. So this is let me read the running translation again. Subtle as the point of a gourd, and pure, effulgent, and infinite like sun. That Paramatman, the Supreme Self, which is subtle. A good example, why they gave, I do not know. They could have given some other example. Needle. Maybe that is not available that time, or anyhow, whatever they live in the forest. So people are accustomed with the elephants and elephant rides and how the small thing controlling the entire elephant. No? With little goat, this controlling the big elephant, giant elephant. And so it is that is so subtle. So subtle as the point of goat, and pure and effulgent and infinite. Pure, effulgent and infinite like the sun. That is the characteristics of why it is so. Because fine that gold means all the instruments, gross instrument. You take a big hammer and hit the elephant. It will do nothing for him. It is visible, it is physical, but it will not do anything. But you touch with the gold, and it's so sensitive. He acts and reacts. So similarly, this entire universe you see in the name and form, but it cannot be seen through these gross eyes, like a hammer. These are gross instruments to measure the bigger thing, so-called big. But Atman or Supreme Consciousness is subtler than the subtlest. That's why it is, this good example is given. The sharpness. So the mind cannot grasp, senses cannot grab it. Now, that reality is subtle as the point of a pinpoint of a goat, and pure, effulgent, and infinite like sun. He alone is seen, assuming all these forms of jivas, and like a size of a thumb, when taking one form as it were. On account of the finiteness of the heart. Because this heart is finite, we feel God is everywhere. Then Ramakrishna said that the cow, the milk is everywhere in his body. But you can find milk in the udder only. Similarly, the heart is the sensitive point for which we understand everything. Brain does not understand anything. It only sends information to the heart. You feel pain in your heart. You feel joy in your heart. All the experiences of happiness, pleasure, pain, misery is the heart center. So that's why it is the importance is that, and heart makes the difference one to the other. Associating himself with the ego and sankalpa, this finiteness of the according to size of a thumb on account of the finiteness of the heart, and associating himself with the ego and sankalpa, one on account of their limitation and intellect, that he is assuming so many forms. So one reality appearing in so many forms, being unchanged, it has not changed anything. Here I'll read that what Sankara translation. Sankara's aphorism has been explained here. Angushthamatro Ravitulla Rupa. That which is of the size of a thumb and has a brightness like sun, which is associated with the determinism and egoism. Sankalpa, determinism, and egoism. As also with the qualities of the intellect and qualities of the body, and which is like the tip of a goat. Sankara is much more precise. Like the tip of a goat is seen as though different from Brahman. So that which is the size of a thumb and it's bright, brilliant like the sun, and which is associated with the truth qualities of determinism and egoism, as also the qualities of the intellect and qualities of the body. That not only intellect comes, body and mind comes, and which like the tip of a goat is seen as though different from Brahman. So though it is one, but it looks different. The self, which is Angushthamatra, the size of a thumb, in relation to the cavity of the heart, that is of the size of a thumb. If we take this, that is the so self, the size of a thumb means the relation. When you think that it is the cavity of your heart, thumb, Ravitulla Rupa, which has brightness like the sun, that is self-effulgent by nature, which is associated with determinism, sankalpa, egoism, ahankara, etc., as also buddhe gunena, with the qualities of the intellect, and atma gunena, with the qualities of the atma and its body. That is before it is intellect, and it is the body, old age, etc. And it has been said, old age and death belong to the body. And aragramatraha, oragro, with the, which is like the tip of gold, of the size of the tip of the iron pick fixed to a goat, is drashtaha, is drashta, seen aparaupi, as though it is different, as the self that is conscious by nature, the self that is conscious by nature appears to be separate. We are, as we are, a very clear example. We are all separate. Why this separation? We can meditate on that. The one all-pervaded consciousness is there. In that conscious ocean, suppose there is a thumb in the cavity of the heart, and it takes the consciousness as if taken that simple form, small, in my heart, your heart, your heart. The one very beautiful idea to meditation. Thinking of this thumb in here, which is this center of experience and perception is sunk into the ocean of consciousness. And in that there is nothing, there is only pure consciousness. But there came the I, there came the resolution, and there came the mind and buddhi. That created my, not only mind, also the physical body, step by step. And it seems I am different from you. But in essence, forget this body, mind, and sense. It is effulgent like the sun, bright and pure everywhere. That is the reality, misunderstood. That's the consciousness. So the word OP here denotes possibility. Due to the limiting adjunct, the individual is thought of as though different, like the reflection of the sun on water. This is the meaning. It is the here as a reflection. That's why all awareness is because of the consciousness behind, no? But that consciousness has been mixed with I sense and my determinism, and also my I as a not only buddhi and also the physical body. So individual is an imagination on the limitless consciousness. Actually, what is there? It is the consciousness is only there. Shankara is very clear here.
But why would I meditate on the dot of light, since that light is being illumined by my light?
Because you have forgotten that.
Oh.
To going back to that light, the whole day we don't think about that. So now let me think on that. It may be material light. When you think of the dot of light there, Angushta Matra, and the Kathopunishat said, Angushta Matra, Purusho Antaratma, Sara Jananam Hidesannivishta. So thinking here, that light, because it is all light. The Upanishad said it is bright like that of the sun and consciousness. But I have forgotten. So this imposition of my mind into thinking there is a light means that I am becoming aware of that. And this awareness increases and increases, then only that is there it will reveal. What is the obstacle? Obstacle is my body consciousness. Obstacle is my understanding that I am a man, I am a woman, I have my imperfection, I have my perfection. All in the buddhi is playing all these roles and making me separate from that consciousness. But these are all superimposition. I and this sankalpa has been added to it. It is not added in reality. That is the fun, that's called the maya. Because of that, I am superimposing on that. So I have to undo that. How to undo? That's why we put the light. That's why Gayatri Mantra and other is valuable to think in this way of the light of consciousness. Because we are that light, but we never identify with that. Rather, we all the time, from morning till now, whatever we say, we are identified with our hand, feet, eyes, ears, mind, intellect, ego. In this level, we are identified. But it is saying, look at your heart and think that there is the subtlest of the subtle, which eyes cannot take you, which senses cannot take you, mind cannot take you, buddhi cannot take you. It is here. But it appears like that individual soul, because identifying there, bringing ego, bringing sankalpa, bringing the idea that your mind, your body. So this separation has appeared. So meditate on that, meditate on that. You can hear, all of you can hear me. Myron can hear me? Or you need little high?
You're fine.
I'm fine, okay. Now let me read the other book, third book. Swami Lokeswarananda Swami. Huh?
One question.
Hmm?
Regarding Buddhi
Buddhi.
and its relationship to, is it really a cross between ego and the actual center of true spirit within?
Yeah.
Then
Yeah, ego and buddhi and mind are not separate. It is called the mind works in 4 areas. When I cannot decide anything, that's called vacillating, that's called mind. When the same mind determines something, that's called the buddhi, intellect. Same thing.
And that's the point of discrimination.
And then he said, I. Then is the ego. And then another is called memory. I remember. So all are in the mind. And mind takes this action. In one role, he is mind. Another role, he is a buddhi, intellect. Another role, he is a memory. Another role, he is ego. Like that, a person is cooking. We call who is the cook here? The cook is one person, the same person cooking. Oh, who is going to drive me today? Okay, the same person is going to drive me. So the driver is separate from cook, but is the person remaining same, functioning as cook. Oh, he's talking, he's giving a talk in the temple. There is a lecturer. So person remaining same, he can function in so many areas. So the person I or their mind, remaining mind, that's why Patanjali has said it, chitta. Mind, intellect, ego, and buddhi.
So at the point of purification, then, does it become
Yeah.
really part of the spirit as opposed to part of ego?
Yeah, purification will happen. You think of the light and consciousness, not of the mind, not of his vacillation, not of his past memory of the world, of anything. So you are eliminating them, and the light is removing the darkness. These are Maya's darkness, ignorance. That's why we call ignorance. Ignorance is removed when you bring in, we make mistakes in the darkness, is it not? You bring a flashlight in the darkness, your mistake will be corrected. So here is so much confusion going on. Snake is there. Oh, what did I hit? Something is there. I do not know. And bring a light. If you put a flashlight there, then you see, oh, what is the reality? Consciousness. Nothing was there. Nothing will be there. It is the consciousness and consciousness and consciousness only.
So then at the point of crossing into clarity and true purity, the idea of determinism then becomes goes from free will to will of God.
When one attains clarity, does sankalpa go away and
Yeah.
only God works through it?
Yeah, they say that sankalpa and vikalpa goes away. But when they may decide something, this body mind is functioning. But he knows himself, he is no sankalpa, no vikalpa, because it is only one. He sees one. In oneness, where will be sankalpa? Sankalpa we do, I shall do this. I am there, the goal is there, something, and to action I will reach that. 3 things are here active. But when one comes to the realization, 3 has gone. That's why you call sarva samsaya, all doubts go away. All confusion goes away. There will be no more any contact. You will feel that you are that consciousness. Whatever the play of Maya is going on, it will be like daylight, seeing something with open eyes, some movie. You see the outside world is real, as also the movie is going on. Intensity will be less, no? When you make it dark room and go to the movie and your total mind is fixed into the screen and you are glued into it, you forget your body, you forget you are the person sitting in the movie hall and you're so engrossed and really you are crying, you are emotionally connected. But suppose it will be, the intensification will be less if you put a bright light like we see the TV. We know that we are seeing the TV. I am sitting there, I am seeing the TV, and it is all going on, fun going on. It's not true. Whatever I am observing, someone is performing, okay, but it is not true, that person is not true in the TV screen. So that knowledge will too, to you. Brahma Jnana will give this clarity. You see God palpably. and see the drama going on. It is all. That's why they can say it is a dream. That's why they say it is just. Brahmajnani is not touched by anything because it comes and goes. It is only an appearance. It's Maya. It is appearance. It is hallucination. All these terms people use in different way. Maya is left. So thing is going on, but you are unaffected. The self is felt in the empty space of the heart. This space is as small as a thumb. Nevertheless, the self, small self, is as bright as the sun. It is distinguished by a will of its own and a sense of ego. An intellect and a body subject to birth and death are coming its other characteristic, are among other. So intellect and the body, these are only some imaginary ideas. And because of the body, subject to birth and death, I am born, I will be dying, I am becoming old, I am becoming sick. All these are among the other characteristics. So the will and the sankalpa is creating all these things. That's why Ramakrishna said will and I. Eh? Ramakrishna said I means Ami. Ramakrishna said Ami mole kuchibe janjal. When I will be not there, all the troubles will vanish. So our that's why Bhakti school says, reduce your ego, servant ego. I am nothing, oh Lord, you are everything. So ego destruction is the philosophy of all the yogas. Ego, karma yoga, not I, thou, oh Lord, it is thou. I did it for you, sir. I did it for you, not me, not me, not me. No? Ego destruction. Meditation. Meditation, you are forgetting your ego and you are thinking of the ideal and you're getting plunged into it. Your ego is getting lost into the infinity. Egoless. Bhakti yoga, dasoham, Vedanta, soham, that's also egoless. That's also egoless. Soham is egoless. Because this not you, not this I, but cosmic consciousness. That's all. There is only one. Soham. Dasoham, I am your servant, I am your, O Lord, and I am nothing. I am only instrument. You are this, you are the operator. So all ego is erratic. So in bhakti, jnana, and karma, as karma is very important. Karma yoga we do to remove our all ego. That's why egocentric karma. We have to remove that egocentric activities. So ego. Spirituality is egolessness. That's why pampering ego is dangerous. It is going opposite of self-realization. That's why Swamiji said, don't think of little self. Little self is little ego. And this ego is separating from everyone. Let the ego die. Let it, in the karma yoga, let it die for good of others. I, forget I. You eat, forget. You feed. You are hungry, you are sick, forget. Someone is sick, serve him. So ego, forgetfulness of ego. Entire karma yoga is based on ego. And I will expect some result. Why you expect some thanks? Why do you expect? Because you think I will get some praise. Why you praise? Why you expect praise? Because you are lacking something. But karma yoga says, no thanks, just give. Thou, fire nahi chao. Give, don't look back. থাকে যদি হৃদয়ে সম্বল. If you have anything to give to the world, no? থাকে যদি হৃদয়. অনন্তের তুমি অধিকারী. You are the repository of infinite knowledge and bliss. প্রেম সিন্ধু হৃদয়. In your heart, there is a ocean of love. You will never get exhausted. Go there. You're looking into your small pocket. This small pocket is small. It can contain only few dollars. But it is infinite light, infinite consciousness in the heart. We are listening to that's the ever pure, shining all the time, bright and full of bliss. No? That is there. Go there. So and I comes, then I want it. Whenever I comes, what I want? You see, you get out in the morning, you first your consciousness after sleep, the I. Then, oh, I'll have to do this. Isn't that first thought? Oh, I'll have to go to temple. Okay, that's good. Oh, I'll have to go to office. Oh, I'll have to go to do this. Whatever, I and Sankalpa. I and Sankalpa. And then that leads you to whatever your Sankalpa. It leads your leg to move that side, hand to work that side, and everything operates, the whole machine operates like that line. So, an intellect and body subject to birth and death are among its other characteristics. Though as fine as the point of an all, AWL, all means, what is all? AWL? It feels,
No, AWL.
L,
Oh,
anyhow. What the dictionary দেখো না?
what is the sentence mark?
AWL.
No, the sentence word.
Or sentences, though as fine as the point of an all.
Yeah,
The whole
Like a axe. Oh, that's a 22.
Oh, same good.
That means sophomore age.
Good. They have translated as
Go
an
down.
all is a pointed tool used for making small holes, marking surfaces or piercing materials, the leather or wood. There are different types of awls, including scratch holes for making the stitching. Okay.
Yeah, they use it for making belts.
Acha, acha.
Belt.
I want to learn. Uh, it feels sure that it is separate from the cosmic self. The Upanishad says that the individual self is felt in an empty space somewhere within the heart. This space is very small, the size of a thumb. So the individual self is also said to be the size of a thumb, angushthamatraha. Let us not take this too literally. The self may be small, but it is also very big. It is also described as Robitulla Rupaha, luminous like that of the sun. And like the sun, it is also self-luminous. The sun does not depend on anything else for its light. It has its own light. Similarly, because the individual self is in a sense the cosmic self, it is also self-luminous. So that light never depends on anything. I cannot read if the light is not here, if my glass is not here. Our reading is dependent because it does not illumine. But the self is self-luminous, so it does not need any one other subject, other support system. The Upanishad then gives the characteristics of the individual self, how we individual self we are created. Sankalpa, it has a will of its own. We find that even a tiny insect has a will of its own. That you can find. A mosquito or a simple insect and going in a way, you stop it, you put some obstacle, it resents. It has its will, and it goes to do this way. Even the creepers, it is going this way, you try to obstruct and put it in this way, it will go the other way. So it has its own will. In this, even the so-called plant life, animal life, human life is much more expressive, but there is less. So we find that even a tiny insect has a will of its own. For instance, an ant may be moving in a certain direction. If you try to put some obstacle in its path, it will do everything it can be to overcome that obstacle. Swami Vivekananda once described life as the capacity to resist a huge steam engine. Swamiji gave this example. A huge steam engine seems to be very powerful, no? But it cannot move on its own. It needs someone to operate it. But even a tiny insect will protect itself and resist any attack.
But Marge, this example an open secret, if the steam engine is coming and the earthworm moves, the steam engine is moving by the will of God, and the earthworm also. So how can I distinguish the
Oh,
will?
that is another level you are talking. Yeah, from the highest level, everything is God's will.
Everything's will.
But in the relative level, these are relative example. That you see, this is insentient, and my hand is moving. I am sentient. But in go to the higher plane, it is only there is no table. It is all prana, electron, proton. In the scientific world, you go up to proton, electron, and then you go Vedanta says pranasya prana. But that is the consciousness. So in that sense, everyone is same. But in the relative plane, to understand consciousness and jada chetana, two things to understand. So this example is probably given here. It needs someone to operate it, but even a tiny insect will protect itself and resist any attack. So this resistance or will is a sign of life. We are in this relative plane, we are alive. We are living here because we have that resistance. We want to do something, any obstacle comes, we want to avoid that and take another course to survive. Ahankara is the sense of ego or I. I am so and so. I belong to such and such family. I work in such and such office. You feel you are separate from others. Even a very humble person has this sense of ego. There are two characteristics of that ego, will sankalpo and ego. There are two props, as it were, one on which the individual self stands. Ego, if he has no ego, then we don't consider him as a living entity. No? This has no ego. This table has no ego. I have an ego. So it is distinguished from that. So individual self stands on these two, the ego and sankalpa. Does it have an ego and has a sankalpa? Sankalpa means action. Action to overcome obstacles. You have the zeal, power, or intention to overcome the problem. So these two makes individual, two things mixed together makes the individual soul. The self functions impelled by the will and the ego. The self, the small self, our individual self, functions. Why? Because of the will and the ego. Our every footsteps, our every word is coming out. I will. I shall go. The sankalpa is there, always determination. You see, the emphasis is on yourself. You yourself are responsible for what you are and what you do. Then two other features of the individual self are then intellect and body. Physical, ওই পঞ্চকোষ অন্নময় প্রাণময় মনোময় বিজ্ঞানময় আনন্দময়. So buddhehe gunena means we identify ourselves with the buddhi, the intellect. Whether we are intelligent or not, we are all conscious that we have intelligence. Someone may be highly intellectual, someone may be less intellectual, but they know that I have a buddhi. Whatever may be the buddhi, even those who are misguided buddhi, that's a buddhi. Someone is killing someone is destroying the peace of others, that also needs a buddhi. And someone is trying to help someone tries to improve the condition of others. There are people who are dying, sacrificing themselves inch by inch for the good of others. That's also buddhi. And there are people who are every day trying to do harm to others and be happy by that. That's also buddhi. So, whether we are intelligent or not so, we are all conscious that we have intelligence, that we have certain intellectual faculties. We know if we are clever or not, if we are scholarly or not, we have some distinctive qualities of which we are aware. Similarly, with the body, Atma Gunena, the word Atma here refers to the body, not the Paramatma. You may be tall and dark, and another person may be short and fair. We all have separate and distinctive qualities. Aura, Aro is a cobbler's owl. It could also mean a goat for prodding animals. Aragra is the tip of this owl. The Upanishad says that the self is very small, very fine, like the tip of an owl. It is because of these qualities, will, ego, the intellect, and the body. So what are these qualities? Four qualities: will, sankalpa, intellect, ego, and the body. Of these four, that the individual self appears separate from the cosmic self, apara api drishta. The qualities of my body and my mind, my sense of ego and will, all these together make me an individual and make me feel I am separate from everyone else. So we are all one. Where we differ? We differ in our body, in our mind, in our understanding, and our ego selves. No? Prana is included in it. We need not have to think separately. So Anno, my body, we are according to the color of the body, height of the body, weight of the body, we are different. Features of the body. One, that is the different body. Then mind, mindset, whether one type of purer mind, less pure mind, or what type of all the differences, the whole world is mind. People are looking at each other, loving each other through the same mind, killing some other through the same mind. Mind is all which is the world creates this universe. And the understanding about that conviction, yes, my mind says I understand this. Your mind will say, yeah, I understand this. So there is a conviction coming in the intellect. And the physical body, so the mental body, intellectual body, and ego I. These are the characteristics which makes this change in each other. The duality is created. But we are all one, all one. Forget that. These are imposed identities. When we die, where goes all this distinction? When this physical body vanishes, the physical part is gone. Mental world will remain. That's why we go to the other planes of existence. We call heaven, hell, etc., etc. That the subtle body we enjoy or suffer. Hell or heaven. So all this together make me an individual and make me feel I am separate from everyone else. But in reality, these are all superimpositions on the same substance, the cosmic self capital. It is as if the cosmic self were limited by these attributes. Shankara says, Jalo Surjavat, that is, the individual self appears separate from the cosmic self, just as the reflection of the sun on water appears separate from the sun. So it is a reflection. Chitta Darpana. Cheta Darpana Marjana. Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya said, Cheta Darpana. Darpana means the mirror. Mirror of your Cheta, Chitta, mind. As Marjana, you have to clean it. And then when you clean it, you can see a reflection there. God does not reflect even an idiot, a person of mean character. God does not appear there at all. There is no presence of God. You cannot find anything good in him to be find any godly character. It is totally dirty. That's why clean that. And after cleaning, what will happen? The reflection will come. After getting the reflection, then mind will be so pure, your tendency will be coming to take a look into the original where the reflection is coming. So Dvaita Advaita will take one step by step. Nastika, atheist who does not believe anything, mind is totally covered, sun is there, no reflection. Developed soul, as bhaktas and jnanis or kurmis, they start to clean the mind. Little reflection of godly characteristics comes. When perfectly done, a reflection, full reflection of the sun comes. And when the full reflection comes, it's called the darshan. And that darshan leads lead it to the same rays. Following the path of the rays, it goes back to the source. So duality, non-duality, all this comes. So the mind is to be clean. So mind is the cause. So Jalasurjavat, that is the individual self appears separate from the cosmic self, just as the reflection of the sun on water appears separate from the sun. Jiva Brahmaiva Napara, the individual soul is in a sense not different from Brahman, the cosmic self. We think we are ordinary individuals, but in reality we are Amrita Suputraha, children of bliss. So we can make it a meditative verse. If we can think for some days, that will be great. We can think that it's the think of that Angustamatra, Kisundar Angustamatra, Ravitulla Rupa. Don't think that is darkness. Think of the effulgent sun-like radiance there in the heart. Angustamatra, Ravitulla Vega, Rupa. Sankalpa Ahankriti Samannitoja, being identified with Sankalpa and Ahankara associated with this. That means the identification, physical body, etc. Buddhir Gunena, and Buddhi gives the idea that you are the body. Anugunena Chiva, Aragamatropi Aparopitustu. It is because it is subtle and the point of a goad, pointed goad like, or all, how to pronounce all. It is there, so it can be seen that way.
But Maharaj, the light that I am can do one thing that the sun cannot do. So I can shine on darkness. But if the sun shines, darkness will go away. But the light that I am, when it shines, I can shine also on darkness. So if I
But there is no
meditate on
darkness. When you are in that level, there is no darkness.
Huh.
When you go into that level, the darkness is question does not arise. Misconception does not arise. When you say self-effulgent sun, if you go there, there is no question of darkness at all. Darkness is out of question. But darkness is coming when in ignorance we are separating ourselves.
But if I sit and meditate and I think of darkness, not of light, I will perceive that light that I am better.
That is the philosophy. I didn't know that people are going like that. Some people told me that they go for 10 days dark. And that's a great experience. I mean, I will be afraid. They remain in the deep darkness for 10 days and they don't come out. People give some food there and they live there alone in the deep darkness, in the cave. Oh my God. I will like for a few minutes, that's all. But I'll be afraid to go there for days together to stay. And I do not know, that may be one way to think. So many ways of sadhanas are there, how much we know. But the point is that take the easiest path. Ramakrishna gave very simple path. We are simple people, just to practice some simple practices. And that same Ravitullo, the light, that ever shining light, it will appear in the heart. And it is there all the time. With that consciousness, I am talking to you. With that consciousness, I am becoming angry. I am becoming happy. I am becoming unhappy. Every action, reaction going on. But what a mystery. I do not know that.
I think in that level, some people cover there with the even meditation time.
Swamiji, Jnanachidanandaji covers.
Yeah. Yeah, to get into the darkness. Yeah, different ways. The master said, to love an incarnation of God, that is enough. Is it enough to love and serve holy people and one's family, thinking them and ourselves to be God's own? Yeah, that is a great question. Sri Ramakrishna said, what? To love an incarnation, yeah, of God is that's enough. If we can love Ramakrishna, if we can love Krishna, if we can love Ram, or you say Makali, if you have love. If you love, then all these problems are solved because that you are seeing God. I do not know what is God, but in Rama, in Krishna, in Buddha, in Christ, there God is manifested before us in the highest degree, in the human manifestation. That's enough for us, our journey to start. And as you move a journey and go close and close to the holy people, like to this holy people like Ramakrishna and Yuri, Krishna, Rama, etc., mind becomes purer. And we do that same thing we impose on the holy people. Why we do that, holy people? Because holy people think of holiness more than me. But there is a risk. You may get stuck to the holy person. Don't get that. A holy person is holy because he thinks of God. But he is also a student. Holy man is not realized, he is not avatar. Any holy man is not avatar. Any holy man can be Brahmajnani. But any holy man is not avatar. Avatar is a question of manifestation. What degree of manifestation of purity, spirituality, strength, the perfection, selflessness, to the extreme. But we also respect other holy people, as you say, love, serve, and holy people. Yes, love and serve holy people. Why? Because they carry some holiness. But do they really carry that holiness? If then, okay, you serve, you will get it. Huh? As I gave the example the other day, Swami Brahmananda, he has so many attendants, and Maharaj is full of energy of spirituality, He has a storehouse of infinite dynamo of spirituality. So he blessed the Swamis who were served him. It's like nothing. They didn't get any chance for meditation. We think that we have to meditate. It does not need. If you have devotion, faith, whom you are serving, and he himself is a dynamo of spirituality. So after he called, because of the service, cooking for him, only cooking, attending to the needs, cleaning the clothing of Swami Brahman, ironing the cloth, that was the duty, and that was his, and he got Brahmajnana. Mahapurush, he said, okay, my child, you have served this body so much, you will attend Brahmajnana. So that is the point of holiness. But not that every person is a holy, and all may not be Brahmajnanis. But if your faith is strong, by that faith you can realize God. And their grace will come and that will purify. But better not to get fixed with a person. Be very difficult. You may mix up sometime. We do not know. It gets confused. Many people make a mistake there. Personality of the but thinking of holiness, yes, we can serve. Everyone we can serve. And of course, there are holy people, we should have greater respect for them. But serving them is only 100 part of our sacrifice. But 99% to be given to God. Otherwise, we get deluded sometimes. This is a warning, not that holy people serving you will not get it. You will get it because if people can, by worshipping a stone, they can see Shiva darshan. If you're worshipping a piece of marble statue, They think it is Ramakrishna appeared before him. If it is possible, why not a living person who is practicing spirituality and advance? Why not you will get the benefit? But there is a risk also. We do not keep that separation, that's the identity. We go euphorically, outwardly, ha 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 ha, we think he is a Brahmagani and go, and then get confused. Jai Ma.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Tomorrow.
Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ram Krishna Panamastu. So tomorrow will be gospel class. Probably I will be here tomorrow. So we'll give the gospel class tomorrow. Thank you.